Beginning the process of observation. Observing the state of your body, the quality of your breath, the settling of your energy. Tuning into what you're working with in this moment. Beginning to build a relationship with what you're working with. How is the breath feeding the body? How is the mind feeding the body? And how can an intention feed your practice? About 10 breaths here. Observing ourselves so we can better understand ourselves. Take a full breath in, a relieving breath out. Open up your eyes, make your way to a tabletop. Press into the palms of the hands, level out the hips and the shoulders, extend the right leg back and point the toes down. Lower the outer right hip and lift through the inner right thigh. Knee to nose. Spinal extension. Knee to nose. Use the whole of your hand to press the earth away. Spinal extension. Knee to nose. A deep rounding through the back. Step the leg through for crescent moon. Curl the back toes underneath you, hug the inner thighs towards one another and reach your arms up high. Draw that intention into your heart and affirm it with your breath. One full cycle, inhale, exhale. Mountain through the arms. Bring your hands to frame the front foot, low lunge. Straighten through the back leg, high plank. One long line of energy from heel to the crown of the head. Inchworm, lower knees, chest, chin. Keep the elbows nice and narrow. Baby cobra. The upper chest will lift, the neck elongates. Lower down. Tabletop. Left leg extends back. Spinal extension, knee to nose. Inhale, spinal extension. Exhale, round through the back, knee to nose. Use the arms, keep the shoulders nice and level. Spinal extension. Knee to nose. Step it forward, crescent moon. Reach the arms up as you ground down through the lower body. Hands come to heart for a full cycle of breath. Bringing awareness to the lower body, hugging into the midline. Mountain through the arms. Low lunge. Straighten through the back leg. High plank. Nice barbs. Inchworm, knees, chest, chin. Tabletop. As you press into tabletop, carry those ribs and the mid-low belly with you, so you're not sagging down, but you're engaged through the deep core. Right leg extends back. Crescent moon, step the leg forward. Mountain arms. Back toes curl underneath you, high crescent. Keep the arms reaching skyward, level off through the hips. Soften in through the jaw. Hover to low crescent moon. Back up to high crescent. Hovering low crescent. Nice and slow, high crescent. Hovering low crescent, stretching and lengthening through the left quadricep. Draw the rib cage back slightly. Nice Heidi. Rise up to high crescent. Star pose, open up to the garage doors. Pressure through the outer edges of the feet, reaching long through side bodies. Shoulders lift away from hips. Hips ground down towards the feet. Space in the waistband. Forward fold. Narrow the feet, 2 or 3. Foot imprints, I don't even know how to say that. Two or three, narrow it in. Walk the hands all the way around to the left for an IT band stretch. You're going to come onto the edges of your feet, ground down through the edges of the feet, squaring the hips, relaxing the chest and the chin down and in. Take a full breath in and out. Pyramid pose to the back of the room. The toes come hip width distance. You may want to narrow your stance. Halfway lift the spine, bring the hands on top of the left knee, bend deeply through the left knee, and grow your spine nice and long. Airplane prep, back toes lift off the mat and then land back down. So you're using that pressure on the left thigh to press the thigh bone back and keep the spine long. So play with keeping your hands on that left thigh instead of taking it all the way into airplane. Good. Press into your thigh, grow your spine long, lift the back leg up. Step it back to mountain at the back of your space. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Walk the hands forward to high plank. Nice, Martina. Your vinyasa through either inchworm, cobra, or chaturanga, upward facing dog, to a downward facing dog. Lay heavy into the thumb and the pointer finger, spiral the inner thighs back, and draw the femur bones to the sides of the hips. Lower down to the knees, tabletop. Right leg extends back. Step it forward, crescent moon. Curl back toes underneath you, reach the arms up. Rise up to high crescent. Open up to star. Wide-legged forward fold. Releasing the grip through the toes, feeling into the soles of the feet. Walk the hands all the way around to the left. You may want to toe heel your foot in, walking it all the way around to the left. So what's your relationship to your breath? What's the relationship to this posture? How are you moving through that tightness? Pyramid pose to the front of the room. Halfway lift. Hands come onto the left thigh, press into the left thigh. Prep to airplane, back toes lift and lower. You're feeling out for that shift of load forward and back, getting enough power to press yourself back to mountain at the back of your space. Forward fold. Walk the hands forward to a high plank and flow through your vinyasa. So gauge your effort with your breath. Notice when the pace quickens, when the pace slows. When you're synced with your movement. Lower the knees down to the earth. Left leg extends back. Crescent moon. Nice, Heidi. Beautiful transition. Back toes curl under. Rise to high crescent. Now keep the evenness of the hips, the relaxation in the face, and lower, hover down to low crescent. Back to high crescent. Sync it with your breath. Lower, hover, high crescent, and low crescent. Very nice. High crescent. Star pose, press into your feet for that smooth transition, open to star. Feel the space you're creating between the hands and the soles of the feet, the reaching up and the rooting down, happening simultaneously. Wide-legged forward fold. The sit bones lift as the feet ground. The spine cascades out of the hips and you get some relief at the low back. In the upper part of the spine as you release the head down to earth. Walk the hands around to the right. It might feel nice to toe heel the feet in first and then walk the hands all the way around so you're on the outer edges of your feet. Hold for a cycle of breath. We're working into that connective tissue on the outer edges of your ankles, into your feet by the balls, the arches, and the heels. The toes are lifted off the mat. Take a full breath in and out. Pyramid to the back of the room. Halfway lift the spine. Bend through the right leg, bring your hands on top of the right thigh, and then press the right femur bone energetically back so it roots into the back of your hip socket. Airplane prep with a long spine. Finding that balance point. And when you're ready, launching off that right foot, stepping back into mountain at the back of your mat. Forward fold. Halfway lift, heart stretches away from grounded feet. Forward fold. Nice, Kathy. Walk the hands forward, high plank. Your vinyasa through. Nice, Tess. Gaze back at your ankles. Make sure they're hidden behind your toes so you get an even stretch across the Achilles tendon, calf, and soleus muscle. Now, how is the upper back spreading wide? How are you becoming open in the chest and broad in the back? What's the relationship you're having with your body? Take a breath in and a breath out. Lower the knees down to the earth for tabletop. The left leg extends back, spinal extension. Step it forward. It's a slow transition with the knee following the hip socket. Rise up to crescent moon. Curl the back toes underneath you. High crescent. Nice. Star pose. Wide-legged forward fold. Toe heel the feet in if needed. Walk the hands all the way around to the right for the IT band stretch. Press the earth away with the edges of your feet. Pyramid pose. Halfway lift the spine. Bring the hands on top of the right thigh. Bend through the right leg. Airplane prep. Back leg lifts and lowers. Lifts and lowers. Mountain at the back of your space. Very nice. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Now walk the hands out, high plank. You're still in the trunk of the body as you engage through the arms and engage through the legs. Vinyasa through. Downward facing dog. Tabletop. Right leg extends back. Crescent moon. Interlace the hands at the low back for chest expansion. Curl the back toes underneath you, hug into the midline. Humble crescent moon. Now start to feel into the feet. Notice where the load is the heaviest and try to balance out the load between the feet. You're going to keep the trunk of the body as is, straighten through the back leg for humble crescent lunge. Lean more of the weight into the left leg, the left ball of the foot, and surrender your face, forehead down to the mat. How is the breath feeding your shape, feeding your posture? Your release is star pose. Beautiful, Sharon. Wide-legged forward fold. Toe heel your feet in. A little wider than shoulder width distance. Walk the hands all the way around to the left-hand side. Make contact with the mat, so you have to bend through the knees. That'll help you keep length through the sides of the body and work into those tighter areas. Then lower the hips down to the earth for cow face pose. The top knee is going to stack on top of the bottom. If that's too much, just take your ankles in front and cross at the ankles. Side bend, up and over. We'll hit both sides, so it doesn't matter which side you flow to first. Maybe find a soft gaze or close down your eyes as you root down through the hips and pull the waistband long outside of the pelvis. And then we'll come back to neutral spine. Take the hands in front of the shins. Roll your weight forward. Use the outer edges of the feet, the outer hips to straighten through the legs. Pyramid pose to the back of the room. Get the lower body set up. Bend into your left knee. Halfway lift the spine. Airplane prep. Keeping the hands on the left thigh, full airplane. Level outer right hip down, lift through the right inner thigh. Holding airplane, single leg Tadasana, right knee pulls forward. Figure 4, right ankle crosses on top of the left thigh. Hands can be at heart, can be an extension of your heart. Center yourself with your breath. Releasing figure 4, airplane. Mountain pose at the back of your space. Nice, Jerry. Mountain pose. Forward fold. Walk the hands forward to a high plank. And vinyasa your way through. Is it okay if I touch you? Yes. So where's your effort? Gauge it with the breath. Suspending through the torso as you lift the sit bones high to the sky and get stable through the shoulders. Lower the knees down to the earth. Extend the right leg behind you. Spinal extension, step forward, crescent moon. Interlace the hands at the low back. Curl back toes underneath you. Humble crescent moon. Straighten through the back leg, crescent, humble. Now gaze back at your back toes. Lay heavy into the right heel, and you're going to use the outer edge of your right heel and your outer edge of your foot to press into, rise up to star. Wide-legged forward fold. Narrow the feet a little wider than hips width distance, shoulder width distance. Walk the hands around to the left for IT band stretch. Lower the hips. Side bend up and over. Take it to the opposite side. We're going to find one more each side, and as you side bend over, the tendency is to collapse through that chest when we feel tightness in our hips. So instead of collapsing, can you reach up into that tightness? Kind of feel where it lives and breathe into it. And then take it up and over to the other side. Instead of concaving, lift into that tightness, explore it. Give it space with the breath. Come back through center. Bring the hands in front of the shins, roll forward, straighten through the legs. Pyramid pose, point the toes forward. Halfway lift, hands come onto the left thigh. Keeping the hands on the thigh, airplane the leg. Transition into a warrior 2. Level out through your sit bones, lengthen out through the waistband. Reverse triangle, front leg straightens, full triangle. Just notice how hard the feet have to work in order to suspend the spine nice and long. How hard the obliques and the abdominals have to work to keep the length and the integrity in the reaching of the spine and the strengthening of the legs. Very nice, Heidi. Circle the top arm around, keeping legs as is. You're going to find 3 shoulder rotations. As you reach, this should translate sensation all the way down into the outer hip, into the outer edge of that right foot. Airplane torso lunge. The right arm will swing around, the back foot will pivot, the arms reach forward. Now press heavy into that left foot. Step back, mountain pose, back of your mat. It's a lot harder coming out from stability than it is from our balance. Forward fold to full airplane. Walk the hands forward, high plank. Your vinyasa through. Is it okay if I touch you? Centering breath in. Relieving breath out. Lower the knees down to the earth. Left leg extends back. Crescent moon. Start the hugging in of the inner thighs as soon as you lift that torso up. Interlace the hands, chest expansion. Good. That firm foundation underneath you, humble crescent. Nice, Erin. Straighten through the back leg. Humble high crescent. Lean the weight into the right side. Hug the left outer hip back and gaze at your toes. Star pose. Wide-legged forward fold. Narrow the feet and walk the hands all the way around to the right for IT band stretch. Lower the hips down to the earth. Feel both sit bones heavy and grounded in. Side body stretch up and over. With your breath, you'll flow from side to side, reaching up towards that tightness, grounding in and down with your seat. When you're balanced, come to a neutral spine. Bring your fingers in front of the shins. Straighten through the legs. Pyramid pose. Halfway lift the spine, hands come on top of the right thigh. Airplane through the legs, left leg lifts. Single leg Tadasana. Figure 4. Creating mobility on that right side, strength and length. Are you breathing? Single leg Tadasana. Airplane through the legs. Mountain at the back of your mat. Forward fold. Walk the hands forward, high plank. Vinyasa through. Downward facing dog is where we'll meet. Lower knees down to the earth. Extend the left leg behind you. Step it forward, crescent moon. Squeeze into the midline, chest expansion. Humble crescent moon. Humble crescent lunge. Gaze back at your toes, hug left outer hip back and down. And lean weight to the right side. Heavy through the left heel and the outer edge of the foot. Rise up to star. Forward fold. Narrow the feet, walk the hands around, IT band stretch. This transition should start to feel a little smoother, a little less effortful. Lower the hips down to the earth. Side bend up and over. Just taking in that joy of movement, the ability to move our body in space with our breath, synchronizing our movements. Neutralize the spine. Come back to center, hands in front of the shins. Come forward, straighten through the legs. Pyramid pose to the front of the room. Halfway lift, hands on thigh. Airplane, back leg lifts. Now become aware of what's happening through the back foot. We're moving into warrior two, so how do you have to plant that back foot to come in smoothly into your warrior two? Level left sit bone with the right. Bring neutrality to the hips, hugging in through the inner thigh. Straighten through the front leg, triangle pose. Bump the hips back. Stretch the spine forward, triangle. Now gauge your effort with the breath. Cool and smooth your practice out. Circle the left arm around 3 times. So much of a reach that it moves all the way down to the outer edge of that left foot. Lovely, Heidi. Circle the left arm around, airplane torso lunge. I know that right leg is talking to you. Get heavy through the right foot. Press into the right foot, step it back. Mountain pose. Forward fold. Walk hands forward, high plank. Vinyasa through. Now if the shoulders are getting tired, if they're getting fatigued, then move through an inchworm or press straight back into your downward facing dog. Lower the knees down to the earth. Right leg extends back, spinal extension. Step it forward to crescent moon. Curl back toes under, hug in through the inner thighs, bring your hands to heart center. Revolved crescent moon, left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Get stable through the right leg. press the outer left arm into that stability and rotate your spine up. You're still hugging in to the midline. And you're breathing fully and deeply. Curl back toes underneath you, straighten through the leg. Revolve crescent. Your release is star. Use those feet, get comfortable using them. Wide-legged forward fold. Narrow the feet in. Walk the hands around to the left. IT band stretch. You'll lower your hips all the way down to the earth. Extend the right arm up to the sky. The left hand comes to the mid-back, upper back, either for a bind or the intention to move towards the bind. Close the eyes and just visualize that light reaching up to the tightness, creating space with the breath. Release the arms down, bring the hands in front of the shins, roll your weight forward. Pyramid pose to the back of your space. Halfway lift the spine. Full airplane. Single leg Tadasana. Open arm twist to the right. Option to bring that left hand to the outer edge of the right foot or to the outer knee. Nice, Kathy. Now stand into your strength. Press into the left leg. Level off the hips. Lovely, Barb. Unwind. Airplane pose to mountain at the back of your mat. Ground the feet, forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Walk the hands forward, high plank. Vinyasa through. Lower the knees. Extend the right leg back. Crescent moon. Bring hands to heart center, rise to high crescent. A variation of revolve crescent lunge. Instead of coming all the way down, you're going to diagonal the trunk of the body and then rotate and spin around to your left. You're suspending your torso in space using the strength of the deep core to suspend the upper body as you root down through the feet and reconnect to your breath. Star pose. Wide-legged forward fold. Narrow the feet, walk the hands around to the left. Lower the hips down to the earth. Left arm extends up to the sky, right hand comes to the upper mid-back. Bring the fingers to bind, or just the intention of the reach of the elbows away in opposition. Bring the back of the head behind you and soften down through the front of the ribs. Release the hands, bring them in front of the shins, straighten through your legs. Pyramid pose. Halfway lift. Airplane. Warrior one. You're bringing the back foot flat, about a 45-degree angle. Pulling the left femur head back as you drop the right femur head down and forward. Take the palms, reach them to shoulder height, and bring the pinkies back towards the ears, getting a stretch from palm to palm, space across the upper back. Inhale, fingers come to touch. Exhale, hands come to shoulder height. Inhale, breath feeds up the spine. Exhale, breath roots you into your feet. Good. Inhale, feed that breath from feet to hands. Exhale, feed the breath from hands to feet. Warrior 3, arms are going to reach forward, palms reach forward, back leg lifts to a warrior 3. Now pull that breath in from the palms of your hands, exhale it out through the left sole of the foot, and then pull it in through the left foot and feed it out through your hands. Mountain pose at the back of your space. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Walk the hands forward, vinyasa through. Is it okay if I touch you?
Sure.
Gauging the effort with your breath. Finding some relief in your practice, relief and release. Lower the knees down to the earth. Extend the left leg behind you. Step it forward, crescent moon. Back toes curl under, hug in through the inner thighs, bring your hands to heart center, revolved crescent moon. Now hugging in through the inner thighs, feel the base of the ribs rotate around. Is it okay if I touch you? Get stable through that left leg and use the outer right arm to press into that stability. Keep rotating and rinsing out. And soften the shoulders away from that rinsing. Straighten through the back leg. Rise up to star. Wide-legged forward fold. Narrow the feet and walk the hands all the way around to the right. Lower the hips down to the earth. Extend the left arm up to the sky. Bind, second round. So what can you observe? What can you explore as you hold for 3 breaths? Release the hands down. Roll the weight forward, straighten through the legs. Pyramid pose, the back of your mat. Halfway lift the spine. Bring the hands on top of the thigh and full airplane. Single leg Tadasana. Open arm twist to the left. Option to bring the hand behind the knee or to the outer left foot. And stand into your strength. Release, airplane. Mountain at the back of your mat. Forward fold. High plank. Vinyasa through. Lower the knees, left leg extends back. Crescent moon. Back toes curl under, arms reach up and come to heart center. Feel that intent for your practice come alive with the breath. Reaffirm it to yourself, commit to it. Rise up to high crescent. Diagonal the torso and rotate over to your left. Continue to lengthen back through that right heel and spiral the right shoulder up and around. Nice, Barb. Got it. Star pose. Wide-legged forward fold. Narrow the feet, walk the hands around, IT band stretch. Lower the hips down to the earth. Left arm reaches up to the sky, bind. Melt in and down. Release the hands, roll the weight forward, straighten through the legs, pyramid. Halfway lift, airplane. Warrior one. Settle yourself in your warrior one, recommit to your breath. Extend the palms out to shoulder height, and we'll bring in some energy as we inhale, lift the fingers towards one another. Exhale, strongly drawing out any stagnation, any dullness. Inhale, light up with the breath, fingers come to touch. Exhale that still air at the base of the lungs. Good, one more round, inhale. Exhale. Reach the arms forward, warrior three. Powerful in your shape, confident in your abilities. Mountain at the back of your mat. Hands come into heart center. Take a moment to close down your standing practice. Finding a moment of gratitude, a moment of joy for this body you could move and flow through life with. Forward fold. Walk the hands forward. Tabletop position. Step the right leg forward to a crescent moon. The right shoulder is going to come underneath the right knee. You'll toe heel your right foot out slightly, and if you'd like, come into the outer edge of that right foot. I'm pulling my shoulders away from the heaviness of my hips, and I'm creating space along my inner thigh, outer hip, side body. Then toe heel the right foot in line with the hip. Keep the right hand outside of the right foot. Take that back leg, swing it in, and extend the top arm up. Nice deep stretch through the inner groin. I'm going to build stability through my right shoulder, pressing down firmly through my right hand. I'm going to try to keep that stability through my arm as I take my left hand to the outer edge of my right foot. Then begin to kick the foot into the hand. Draw the ribs underneath the arm, gaze under the armpit. Okay? And we just take it in stages. So wherever you're at, we move into compass pose from modified side plank. So 2 to 3 breaths, encouraging your effort. And then when you've hit those 2 or 3 breaths, you'll come into a brief child's pose to refocus, to recenter. So we progress. We have something to look towards, but our intention is to stay with the effort. So even when we're faced with challenge, even when we're faced with fatigue, we can still show up and try. Come up to a tabletop, step the left leg forward. Hug the left shoulder underneath the left leg. If this is where you are the whole time, just stay here. Work that space into the outer inner hip. If it feels good, come to the outer edge of that left foot. Just feel around in your own body. I like to soften my eyes or even close my eyes. And then you'll toe heel the left foot back in line with the hip. Bring the left hand outside of the left foot. Then get stable through that left hand. Bring the right arm up to the sky. It's a nice stretch through your inner groin. You're still feeling out your body. If you can put a little bit more load into the fingertips or maybe into the palm of the hand. And then the right hand's going to come around to the outer edge of the left. Just starting to straighten out through the leg. Bringing my ribs underneath my armpit, my arm, and gazing up. 2 or 3 breaths, and when you're done, child's pose. So the body is prepped for this. We've warmed up through side bodies. We created strength and mobility. Now it's the confidence that you build as you move in slowly with intention. In child's pose. Taking the next few moments in silence just to observe your practice. The effects that you've created. And then very slowly you'll make your way onto your back. Coming into a happy baby's pose or any other posture that will help you to close out your practice. And final Shavasana will be our place to rest. That pose where we do nothing but just observe. The bonding and the unity of bringing mind, body, and spirit to one cohesive whole. And come to a fetal position on either side of your space. Taking a moment to touch upon that intent. And extending that intent into the rest of your day, the rest of your week, and beyond. Slowly make your way up to your seat with a soft gaze or closed eyes. Gathering the hands at the heart space, lifting up tall through the spine. Finding our grounding through our seat. Exhale out the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Bowing to that joy, that light within. With light love, gratitude, and grace. Namaste.